and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new and you like makeup, beauty, hair or hauls, then please consider subscribing. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a comparison video. So I'm going to be comparing the Too Faced Too Femme palette with the W7 Sweet Nectar palette. So this one, I mean, from the packaging, it's not that obvious, to be quite honest with you. But this one is a blatant dupe of this palette. First up, I'm just going to say I've got the windows open behind me. So if you hear like the odd bit of traffic or birds or anything like that, that'll be why. But I cannot sit here with the windows shut because it is boiling today. So this is the Too Femme palette. So this is the packaging. I love the packaging of this. I'm not going to lie. I do prefer the packaging because I absolutely love butterflies anyway. But this one is a very narrow kind of slim palette with 14 pans in it. And this is the Sweet Nectar W7 one, which is clearly bigger than this one. And we have more of a kind of a hummingbird and sunflower theme going on here. So if I open them up, this is what they look like side by side. So as you can see, they are extremely similar, right down to the pans themselves, like the two bigger ones on the ends there. We've got embossing on this one of a hummingbird. On this one, we have a butterfly, although you can't see that one too well now. And then this one, it says Too Faced, and the other one, it says W7 on there as well, but extremely similar. Okay, so here's the swatches from both palettes. So the top ones here, these are all the Too Faced palette, and then these bottom ones are the W7 palette. I would say, looking at the swatches, that to be honest, the W7 one is standing out to me over the Too Faced one. But yeah, we will see when they're on the lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Too Faced on this eye, I think, and then W7 on this eye, and then we'll obviously compare them. I'll use exactly the same shades from both palettes and we'll see how they perform next to each other. This one, when I reviewed it originally, I think I did more of like I went for the neutral tones in here, and this one I went for the kind of the greeny bluey tones that are in here as well. So I think what I'm going to do today is kind of like a bit of a purple look. Right, okay, so starting off on this eye, so this will be the Too Faced side, I am going to go in with this shade just here. It's kind of like a pinky brown, I would say, and I'm going to apply that to my crease and just slightly above as well. I'm going to be using this brush here. I'm going to use, this is clean, by the way, I've just used this just to clean it off. That is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use the same brushes as well, but I'm just going to clean them off, obviously, between the two palettes. Okay. So that's what it's like, kind of stamped on straight away. And then what I'm going to do is kind of blend it through the crease. And as I say, I'm going to do it just above as well. Okay, so that's how that eye is looking just there, which isn't bad. It isn't bad at all. This palette was quite controversial when it first came out with a lot of reviews. Some people were saying, well, a lot of people were saying that it wasn't very good. I personally, when I tried it out, I got on okay with it. I quite liked it. But obviously everyone's different. So, yeah. So I've cleaned my brush off, as I say, and there's nothing on there now. So I'm going to go into the W7 Sweet Nectar palette and take the same shade. So in this palette, obviously, it's this one just here. It's going to be quite hard to show you on this eye when I'm applying it because obviously I'm right-handed, so my hand does go across this eye. So again, just stamped on from the first application, we're looking at that. And then I'm going to blend through the same as I did with the other one. To keep it fair, what I'm going to try and do is, although this is already way more pigmented, what I'm going to do is try and keep it to like the same amount. Obviously, if it matches up with less, then that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to try like this one I went on, I'd say blended it through, I dipped 4 times and then blended. So I'll try and keep it so that one side's no more than the other, if you get what I mean. Okay, so I've literally dipped in just the once compared to this side, which was 4. And I think that pigment wise, they already match up. I'm going to dip in just once more just to blend this one out a little bit more. But yeah, with regards to pigment, I would say that they're kind of at the same level now. Right, so there's the first application of that colour. So I did go in 4 times. I thought to myself, I might as well just completely match them up. So 4 times on this one and 4 blends on the other one. So exactly the same amount of product. And as you can see, this one I feel looks way better. There's a lot more pigment to this one, and it has also blended nicer as well. So right, next I'm going to blend the edge of both of them out. So it will be this colour just here to do that. So I'm going to go back to this eye now. So this will be the Too Faced palette. So it'll be this shade here. And I'm just going to dip in with my fluffy brush. Okay, and then again, cleaning it off. Then I'll take the W7 one, so same amount, so a few dips, and then we'll do this eye. So there is the 2 eyes compared at this stage, and again the W7 side does look better. I've got to admit it does look way better. There's not half as much pigment on this side. Yeah, it's blended okay, but this side does look better. Right, so as I say, I want to dip into the purples this time. So next I'm going to go in with this kind of darker purple shade at the bottom just here. So again, starting off with the Too Faced side, so it's going to be this one just here, which does come off pretty pigmented on the brush. I'm using kind of like a dense round brush just here. So yeah, it's nice and pigmented. So I'm going to go on to this side first. I'm just going to kind of stamp it on to the outer part of my lid. And then just going in with a blendy brush, I'm just going to take another small amount of that purple on there and just use that just to blend this into that kind of pinky browny shade that I used in the crease. And then I'm just taking this brush that I used to dip into that other colour, and I'm just literally, this is clean now, there's no product on it. I'm just going to use that just to blend the edge as well. Okay, so like that. So it doesn't look nice, but we're going to do that on this side as well. So again, I'm just going to sit and clean off all my brushes. I'm going to show you because I don't want anyone to say, oh, you've used the same brushes, because I have used the same brushes, but they're clean each time I'm using them. So going in with the W7 palette, I'm going to take the same shade. So it's this one just here. And just like the other side, I'm going to start by stamping it on. So 3 dips, which is the same as what I did on this side with that brush. And then I'm going to take the little blending brush again and just dip into that colour to blend out the edge. So like that. And then just like the other side again, I'll clean this off now, but I'm going to use this as just a clean brush again. Okay, so again at the same stage now, so that's how we're looking so far. So then I'm going to take a shimmer and do the inner part of my lid just here. And for that one, I think I'm actually going to go in with this shade here, right in the middle. So I'm going to take a brush for this. So Too Faced side, of course, and I'm going to take, this is the first dip. I'll probably need quite a few dips of this on both sides. It's going on really nicely. Obviously this is the Too Faced side. It's going on really nicely with a brush, I will say that, but I have got quite a lot of fallout just underneath here. So I'm going to start off by kind of getting it where I want it with the brush, and then I'm going to use my finger just because of the amount of fallout. It's a really pretty colour, I have to say. So I'm just going to use the brush and just use that to kind of blend it into that matte shade a bit more. God, it's blooming hot. Right, so again, a clean brush, and I'll be dipping into this shade. We'll say on this palette, it's a little bit more crumbly than it was on that one. It was more kind of a squidgy texture on the other one. Okay, so that is how we're looking at this stage. Now I will say that this shimmer is a lot more intense than this shimmer, although this one here, I feel like it's not as kind of, this one looks a little bit more patchy because it's chunkier and it's got that kind of texture to it, whereas this one looks a lot smoother. But yeah, so this one I would say is more pigmented, more intense, whereas this one I feel looks a bit smoother. It is more subtle, but it does kind of look smoother than that one, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to quickly clean up the fallout from both under eyes, and then we will do the underneath, I think with, I think I might actually use the first shade that I use. So this one here on the underneath. So I forgot to press record, but obviously because it's a comparison video, I can't really take it off and start again. So what I'm going to do is just run through what I did. So I used this shade just here that I use in the crease on the underneath, and that's all I've done. So, but I used with the Too Faced side, which is this one, I dipped into the colour twice, and then I went ahead and did the W7 side, but I only had to dip in once to already get a more intense payoff or colour payoff than this side, and I felt like I was going to leave it at just the one dip rather than the two, otherwise it would have looked really odd. So that's where we're at now. So that's the eyeshadow all completely finished. So as you can see, sort of looking at the underneath compared to the sort of W7 to Too Faced. I'm getting so confused. But that's how we're looking. So what I'm going to do is put some mascara on and some lippy, and then I'll come back and show you the complete look with obviously the two eyes with the different palettes. Okay, so I've put on some mascara and some lip oil, and yeah, this is all completely finished now. So what do we think? I feel like the W7 side looks better. So you're now seeing it in reverse because I've flipped my camera around. But now this side is, yeah, so now This side is the Too Faced and this side is the W7. Is that the same? I can't remember if that's the same way around or not, but that's how it is anyway. So yeah, I feel like the W7 side looks better than the Too Faced side, but that's just my opinion. But I would say personally that for a matter of £6 for the W7 palette and £30 odd for the Too Faced one, I would go for the W7 one over the Too Faced one any day. Save your money and yeah, and get that one, because it definitely, I feel like it performs better, you know. What do you think? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse than the other side? Do you think they're the same? Yeah, I'd love to know what you think. I really would. But yeah, as I say, I feel like it's better and a lot cheaper as well. So as always, all products shown in today's video I will link in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me if you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!